The voice. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! Welcome after a short break. We are here with Mr. Rapid to cast the grand finals of Bombastic Starleauge Season 5. Huge hype.
That's right, it's
Mr. Rapid.
It's finally time. I cannot believe that we're here. It's been a very long season for BSL Season 5, but it's all come down to this one best of 7 to decide the winner of, I think, first place gets $400, second place gets $250. Huge prize pool, of course, sponsored by Blizzard, so a big thanks to them for supporting the international Brood War community as well as BSL. And just BSL itself has been a huge support to a lot of the players playing in it as well, whether it's the Pro League or the Chobo League, whatever it is. It's just been a nice fixture of the foreign community. So thank you very much for having me here, Zero. It's good to be here with you to cast the grand finals between eOnzErG and Bonyth. Two of the best players that Foreign Brood War has ever seen. I cannot wait to watch this.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to watch this. It's also my favorite matchup. It's ZZZero versus Protoss, so it's like perfect Christmas gift for me from the players, because it will be ZVP. And yeah, it's also a very huge pleasure for me to have you, Mr. Rapid. I'm very happy that you've been able to find the time, because it's like 3 AM at Korea right now.
It's about 4:30 AM over here, but
okay.
I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I could pretend like this is like, you know, really inconveniencing me, but the truth is I'd probably be up at this time anyway, so it's not that big a deal.
Oh, so that's good to hear. Like, at least I have like, I'm not that like very bad person, only bad person to like just forcing you to do it.
You're great. So are these games that are about to come up.
Yeah, exactly. We will have the maps for our match grand finals, Bonyth versus eOnzErG. It will be Sylphid as a set 1. So it's a new map from KSL ISL. I think it's not in the ladder yet, or is it the ladder map already?
For Sylphid, the place I see it the most is ASL, just because I think that was where it was introduced initially. Yeah. I think it's been brought into a few online tournaments, like it's in all the online Korean streamer tournaments, and I think it's been pretty widely accepted as just a pretty solid 3-player map. Nowadays, there's actually just so many 3-player maps coming out, almost more than 4-player maps. And my favorite thing is how we're apparently going to get Caceres 2 maps in a row here. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know if I'm ready. And and I'm sure that like the players are in shape today, and they will bring us the games we expect them to bring to us, because we expect the best games in the world. And if you are ready, Mr. Rapid, we could go to start game number 1 of our grand finals.
Yeah. So just to clarify, it's the map overlay said that Caceres was going to be played 2 games in a row. Is that correct?
Oh, it's not. I will fix that between the games.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was checking, because like maybe 1 game on a weird map I can handle, but like 2 in a row, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we've got some weird rules here. But okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to get into it and find out. Our first map is going to be on Sylphid. I'm ready to go, Zero. Let's start the BSL5 Grand Finals.
Let's go, Grand Finals. Last best of 7 of BSL5 is coming now. So, spawning on the 8 o'clock position as a red Protoss player from Poland, we are having Bonyth.
That's right, and his opponent on the opposite side of the map in the white as ZZZero. This is eOnzErG. We meme about him being Cuban, but I think he prefers to be referred to as, I think he told me European the first time, but then he said Belgian, so I'm just like, okay, that's the flag we're using here. So I had to find that emoji because I confused the Belgian flag with like a sideways German flag, and I'm not as international as the BSL is. You know how, I don't know if you ever counted, Zero, how many countries were represented by players in the BSL Pro League?
Oh, I should count that. I
I
don't know,
think
but
it's something.
more than 20?
I think it's something like yeah, more than 20. I think it's really surprising how international it is, and to see so many great players from so many countries around the world, and it comes down to this. It's basically perfect. I think it was kind of inevitable that we would have a Polish player in the finals. Because like top 4 had 3 Polish players in it,
Yeah.
so for a
At least on
tournament
this
that
season.
started out with only Polish players, it's still kind of that way because they are just so good. So really excited to see what Bonyth can do. He represents his country here in the grand finals.
Yeah, and we couldn't imagine better finals. Like Bony was a beast, then he was on the break, and now he's trying to prove to us that he's better than he was before the break. And Eon was always his like hardest opponent, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yes.
So yeah, it will be very interesting to see them finally fighting in very important match. And both of them, I know them very well both, and they are very nice guys. So don't forget, guys, to go and give them a follow, give them a subscription or donation if you want, because these are really good, the pillars of our community.
That's right. So let's just talk a little bit about the opening builds. It was a 9-pool from eOnzErG, not 9-pool Gas, 9-pool Hatch coming down here. Both players have scouted each other correctly, and the Zealot from the Gateway expand that Bonyth is going for is about halfway across the map, choosing to turn around instead of heading towards that hatchery.
Yeah, he sees that eOn is making a lot of links, and we are seeing that there will be 6 links from him, so fighting with 1 Zealot, he could lose 1 Zealot without killing anything, so I think he will regroup and move again with 3 or 4 Zealots.
Just kind of looking back over things, I think that was an overpool instead, but the idea is that this is still a very economic start after that. He just goes hatchery, hatchery immediately, knowing that as soon as the Zealot doesn't show up, probably not coming across there. And there's a Nexus coming down here, so we are not going to see something crazy like an early rush. I saw I thought it was a 9-pool initially, and I was like, whoa, we're just really going aggressively here, but it was overpool into double hatch afterwards.
Yeah, so overpool is, we can say that it's standard in ZVP, it's not very some kind of all-in build, but we are seeing that eOn didn't stop making links. He's making links all the time.
Yeah.
So he's assuming that Zealot, after seeing that first Zealot, that this Zealot pressure will come later. So he wants to be prepared for that, and I really like it. But a second thing is that the place of his third hatchery, it's on the cliff, not to the closer position, and I like it a lot because this closer position is having only 6 mineral fields, where the place where he put his hatchery is having 8 mineral fields. So it will be more income from this expansion when he will saturate that.
Yes, exactly. eOnzErG is finally starting to realize, wait a second, I thought that he was going to send Zealots across the map, but he's actually not. And so now this huge swell of links, this is over a control group of Zerglings coming across the map, is going to crash into this Forge and Gateway and maybe find a way to break through the Zealot. This is really hard to deal with. That's so many Lings, and there's only 1 cannon behind this.
Yeah, it's only 1 cannon. Maybe he will decide to go and kill this Gateway, because if Bonnie wouldn't start Cybernetic Core, he would be so delayed, but he started Cybernetic Core, so it will be not that big of a deal, but still, he's pulling a lot of props from mining, and Bonnie is not able to produce Zealots, so eOn can make drones and be happy.
Another Gateway being started there. There was a moment where I thought Eon could have run by and killed the cannon, but obviously probably not with as good as Bonyth's probe and Zealot control would be. So better to just take out the Gateway, do as much early damage as you can with those Zerglings, and then pull back and try to get your economy back up. And Bonyth is going to know, not only because of the probe coming through, but also because of the lack of speed, that there's no gas really being utilized here at all. So kind of a weird way to see the game start, but I think it will stabilize from here for both players.
Yeah, it should, and eOn is going for 4th hatchery very quickly and 5th hatchery in the 3rd base, so it will be more like an economical approach, not technical, not tech approach, but only like a lot of drones, a lot of Hydralis, probably not some kind of Mutalis from eOn. So it will be very interesting because it indicates more macro game.
Yeah, we still only have one gas, and it had 2 drones for a while, but now it's back up to 3. But anyway, a very sort of mineral-only kind of macro way to start things up, and you can still build drones without gas, and that's why eOnzErG has this huge economy behind this. And I really think that he's off to a fantastic start here for Bonyth. I always ask myself, how is he going to sort of flip the table on eOnzErG and try to go out and get damage done? Usually it is with Shuttle Reaver that we have seen him be so effective, but he's going to go for Stargate, Corsair, and then maybe mix in some Templar after that.
Yeah, that's the strategy that Bisu invented, and it's still working perfectly. So,
yeah.
Like we are seeing Devil doing that very often, and it's working against any sort of player, even the Gosu players from Korea, which are playing on Heavy. So yeah, it's definitely one way to go. Other way, I think he could go heavy on like 8 gateway style only from the main base, but yeah, it will be hard for him to out macro Aeon because he's already having 5 hatchery and a lot of larvas, pretty good economy. So it will be interesting game.
Yeah, thing is definitely something that would describe our first best of 5. We saw a bunch of crazy strategies there, and so I'm thinking about this one. I'm like, can they really get more creative? Well, we got our. I think, if I'm correct, eOnzErG got Zergling's speed after his lair finish. So I don't see that too often for sure. But the biggest thing is, how do you protect all these overlords with only 1 Hydralisk? There's a second one popping now. He's gonna lose like 3-4 overlords here.
Yeah, and Corsair still survives, so that's a good move from Bony. 400 minerals and still getting a scouting out of these Corsairs, and they will be useful useful in case of some kind of Muta switch maybe, because the lair is already here. Oh, and the Zealots.
Well, this is gonna... Yeah, it's going to be a pretty strong attack here. It's not... +1 should finish exactly as soon as these speed lots head across the map. And so here we go. We're going to run 7 Zealots right up this ramp, kill off the Overlord here. And is there a DT behind this? No, there's not. It's just massive amounts of speed lots headed across the map. These +1s doing a lot of damage, but the drones are actually glitching out quite a few of the Zealots. Most of them survive, though, and that might just be enough to kill this Hatch.
Yeah, and if Aeon will not defend this base, he will be so behind in this game, he can't... And now he will be flanked with... Like, yeah, so many Zealots will flank his Hydra, so it will be so hard for him to defend. He's microing very, very nicely, but it will be so close.
Oh my god, I think eOnzErG will just barely hold on here. Oh my god, this is so close. Drones coming in clutch there at the end, and just barely eOnzErG will hold this base.
Oh, and these Corsairs, both of them are having 7 kills overall, so it's 7 Overlords dying only to these 2 Corsairs. He's having a respect for every unit, Mr. Bony.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so at the same time, Bonyth did kill a total of, 7 Overlords with these Corsairs.
Yeah.
It's only 2. It's not like he's committed to a lot of Corsairs. So really victories on both sides is what I'm trying to say. But anytime you throw away that many Zealots and don't manage to kill the base, it's going to be hard to get damage done with the rest of them. And that's what you can see there at the front of the natural, is Bonyth can't really find anything anywhere.
Yeah, but overall Bony is like having 300 high Templars, he's gathering energy for them, but overall his army is not too big right now. That's why he added the third cannon in the natural, because he's afraid that if Aeon wouldn't remake the drones in the third, but only start making Hydralisk after that, he might find a weak spot in Bony defense. And we are seeing already Bony with over 20 supply lead, but Aeon is a player who can play from this kind of situation and know what to do, so it's definitely not the game over after this aggression.
Yeah, you're right. Bonyth does have that supply advantage. It's obviously mostly in probes and zealots, but there are 3 High Templar who are both just now getting up to storm energy, and so this is starting to really come together for Bonyth. But he hasn't been able to shut down eOnzErG. He killed a bunch of probes there at the third base, but those have been replaced by now. And here comes the Hydra push, so we're going to see how well these storms can hit. And if he does land good storms, then maybe he can push out afterwards. There's a nice storm, catches a couple of Hydras there, but good control by eOnzErG to pull back. And finally, the Zealots are starting to come out, try to push these Hydras back away. They're doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, definitely. These are +1 Hydralists, so they are dealing with the Zealots a little bit faster than the normal ones. And Aeon with excellent micro, very nicely done. Oh, the micro.
Wow, look at eOnzErG. Saves 4 of those Hydras with like about 20 HP left. That was really good control. But at the end of the day, he still killed all the Zealots. So now no more Zealots in this Protoss army. He does still have 2 Storms, and eOnzErG's keeping the pressure on.
Oh yeah. His economy maybe is not the best, but he's playing only against 2 base Protoss, so he should do as many units as he can at this point. Bonyth is saving one more. Oh, but now he will lose this Dragoon to the Hydras.
Wow, that's the genius Dragoon. That's the Dragoon that drowns in the rain by looking up. I grew up on a farm, and turkeys will literally do that. They'll just look up at the rain and they'll just swallow the raindrops. And I'm just like, oh my god, the food chain. How does it work? And that's what Dragoons would do. I imagine a Dragoon wondering, what's this wet stuff, and just looking up and drowning. That's about how smart they are. But now finally, Bonyth is going to bust out after killing off that first group of Hydras and try to take a 3rd base here. And it's not high ground, so there's no mischance, but there is a wall, so at least Zerglings won't be able to just run up on it.
Oh yeah, and he's taking 3rd base. In the same time I'm playing pressure, and there are Observers, Dragoons, and High Templars, so very well, very good army composition from Bonyth, I think.
Oh, yeah, good Storms here as well. The first one's great, the second one not so much, but there's still enough Zealots and Dragoons to make up this Gateway Man army. That's the money storm. Huge amount of damage. Oh, all right, well that's how you kill a Zerg army there. Excellently done. Bonyth really just killing everything that eOnzErG had out on the map, and now he's got a 50 supply advantage.
Yeah, but there are no Storms left with this army, so if he will lose all these Dragoons to the pure Hydra, he will have a problem, but somehow Dragoons are fighting relatively well against this Hydra risks.
Yeah, if all you need the Dragoons to do is stand still and shoot big blue balls, then I think they can handle that much. And they do trade pretty well against an army that eOnzErG has never been able to reach a critical mass with.
Yeah, he's like lowering the number of Aeon units. He's having great upgrades. Aeon is having 1-1, so that's huge for this time of the game.
Yeah.
But he's just having a problem.
Gonna move in
again. Ooh, he sniped it just before he casted the Storm.
That was so clutch. I'm not sure if that had enough energy for Storm, but either way, picking off High Templars is huge. And eOnzErG is trying to be very active, very aggressive with these Hydras, but I think Bonyth's army might just be a little bit too big.
And he noticed that there are not too many lurkers, so he immediately switched the army composition into more Zealots, and look how well the Zealots are handling with this Hydra list.
Yeah, the Zealots running. Oh, and there's the Storm on all the Hydras at the same time. And with Zealots just being rallied across the map from 9 gateways back at home, I think this might be a little bit too much for eOnzErG to handle.
Yeah, in the same time we saw that Aeon like sacrificed one army production, production cycle for the drones, and now he might be regretting that because he's not having units to defend. Of course he can lose this base and it would be not terrible, but Bonyth already mining from 3 bases, so it would be perfect for him to start mining from this one.
Man, eOnzErG is microing his heart out on these Hydralisks, trying to just hold on, just like he did at that 3rd base. He takes out the Archon, he's going to take out these High Templar here as well, and I think he might just barely once again hold on to his base.
That's very impressive out of eOn, because like,
man,
Bonyth is known for his aggression, and he's like, when he's feeling the blood, he's pressuring and pressuring, but Aeon still is able to survive that. So that, oh, but nice Storm at the last possible second.
Yeah, that's a good Storm, but I have no idea how eOnzErG keeps being able to just barely hold on to these bases. He did it with the 3rd base, he's doing it with the 4th base, but Bonyth is taking a 4th base of his own right now, and there's no chance for eOnzErG to push over there and punish it. He just doesn't have the army. I think the best thing he can do is maybe push here into the 3rd base, but even that has a bunch of cannon.
Yeah, there is... Oh, he's going for this attack. Maybe he feels like he has to do something to this base if he wants to get back to this game. And killing these cannons at least will buy him enough time that Bonyth will be forced to stay here with his army until the cannons will be finished. So maybe he will have some time to move the lurkers, but overall he's not mining gas in the 3rd base, so he's not having too much gas to spend on lurkers.
Oh, well, you know, the upgrades were pretty good for eOnzErG early on. He still got 1-2, but that's where he's stopping. Whereas Bonyth is about to have +3 weapons and he's mixed in DTs. He's got a bunch of observers. He's got High Templar Storm. Such a diverse unit composition. And eOnzErG has only Hydralisks. That's all he has in his army, and eventually that won't be good enough.
Yeah, you are right. You need to add some kind of high-tech units. Like if there are not ultralisks, at least you should have lurkers to deal with this huge, like very well teched, very well composite the army of Protoss.
Yeah, and here it is. It's all together. The Protoss Death Ball crashing into the natural expansion. Zealots keeping the Hydras from rejoining for the main. Huge storms on the entire army. eOnzErG is melting in the face of Bonyth's Protoss force.
Yeah, and we might see that this is the beginning of the end of the first game. Yeah, GG from Mr. Eon. Ooh.
Wow. Wow, I cannot believe how close that game was. Huge, like the upgrade battle, the base defense from eOnzErG, just so sick. But in the end, Bonyth's macro, just so good. He's able to defend against that Hydra attack at the front door, bust out, take a third base, and then use that economy from like 9-10 gateways to just power through as only a gateway man can.
Yeah, Gateway man is a good, like, there is a guy, Jae-yoon, is a gateway man, or...
No, I think it's Nyoken that plays under gateway man, but yeah.
Oh, thank you for the subscription, my friend. I'm really appreciating that, and I will now change the overlay just to not have Caceres twice.
Yeah, so I think it's either going to be the second or the third map. Coming up will be Caceres. It is... it's not a new map. It is, so there's a foreign map maker who made a map named Caceres backwards, and then he turned that name backwards and made Caceres as sort of a backwards version of that map. It's a weird way to describe it, and it's a pretty weird map to describe too. So once we get into game, we can maybe show off some of the features, but it is it's not Destination, you know, it's not Fighting Spirit, it's not that map you've seen a million times. And I like that we have maps like that and Heartbeat in the map pool to kind of shake it up a little bit. You know, it's not as crazy as tournaments like STPL or something, where just every map is the weirdest thing you've ever seen, but they're still just new enough to kind of change the way that people play on them, which can be a little bit refreshing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's very interesting to make this kind of this kind of maps. I think Keeks made this STPL Christmas Cup, and when there was only the maps with the snow, I think the Christmas ish map, and I really like it. I like this idea, and STPL is bringing some old maps, and when I'm watching it or playing in it, I'm reminding like, oh, I used to play on this map like 12 years ago. Like that was a good map, but like these days the maps are much more balanced, and there is much more think-through process in making them. For example, like every map now is made the way that Protoss will be able to make a wall-in against Zerg. So I think the map may...
Oh yeah, that was not always the way back in the day.
Yeah.
In fact, for a long time, like Forge Fast Expand didn't exist because you couldn't make a wall that would allow you to do that. You just couldn't do it. So it was a dark time for Protoss for a while there, but now it does look a lot better. We've got more standardized maps and faster iteration. It used to be you just put a map out there and it would be there for like a while, yeah. And then maybe a tournament would pick it up and then they'd redo the map to make sure it didn't have any weird places. But for a long time, even in a lot of the early Star Leagues, there were maps that had like horrible flaws in them, like places you could drop a siege tank that you should never be able to drop one. Yeah. It was rough, but now things are much better, and it will be Caceres for our second game, this best of 7 finals.
Yeah, exactly. Bonyth winning the first match on the Sylphid, so now I think the overlay should be fine. The Caceres is the second map, Benzin third, Secret Breaker as a set 4, set 5 Aztec, set 6 Eddie, and the Roadkill as a last map, if it would come to that.
I hope it comes to that, Zero. If we get 7 games of this grand finals, I will pass out a happy man afterwards.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it would be a good sleep after having best of 7 between 2 best players in the foreigner scene.
Well, I mean, truly, it feels like I'm dreaming to watch 7 games this good, so I'm just excited to see how game number 2 goes.
Yeah, so we are going directly to game number 2 on Kayseri, so you can pronounce it however you want. This is map 2. So, on the 12 o'clock position, leading 1-0 in the grand finals of BSL5, as a green Protoss, we are having Bonyth.
And his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner of Caceres, in the purple as Zerg. This is eOnzErG, who is down 0-1.
And I think Mr. Rapid recasted the game on Caceres. It was a Zerg versus Zerg between eOnzErG and Tai2, but there were close spawns. And this time there are far away spawns, so it will be more interesting from my perspective to see this kind of response of the players.
Yeah, you're right. This is going to be a much different way to play on this map. It's kind of deceptive because if you do spawn in close positions, you're actually very close by air, and obviously in CVZ that makes a big difference. So this time they will be pretty far away. This map looks pretty weird, but it is actually a 4-player map. It's not like a 2 or 3-player map, which you might not be able to see just by looking at it. So you do get all the different kinds of games possible here. But this is going to be a longer one theoretically, although I guess that would benefit eOnzErG because Bonyth seemed to really push out super strongly and never give eOnzErG a chance to make anything but Hydras after he broke out of his natural.
Oh, but we are seeing Bonyth going for one base opening, and I know what it will be. It will be fast river from Bonyth. Everyone knows that when Bonyth is going for one base build, it will be the river, and no one knows how to stop it. So at least
I love this. This is Bonyth saying, look, I've got a little bit of an advantage, and now I'm going to put you in the ground. I mean, thankfully, eOnzErG is going to get out there and drone scout it, and it's going to be great information because he will see that this is going to be a one-base start. And I think you kind of know what to expect, like you said, Zero. When it's Bonyth, if he's going one base, you're going to see fast reavers.
Yeah, but that's really good. That's a really good point, Mr. Rapid, that he scouted that, because now Eon will not put the third hatchery in some random place, but it will be probably at home, so it will be easier to defend against the Dragoon and river pressure or something like that.
Well, I mean, you say it's easier to defend. I've seen Bonyth's Reaver make Mission Impossible runs deep into the base where there's no hope of survival and kill like 30 workers. And I'm just like, oh no, his probe killed a drone.
Killed one drone and he still survived. So that's for sure annoying. That maybe not the biggest deal, that's huge, but it's very, very annoying, and that will mean a lot for Mr. Aaron.
That's so crazy. I remember it was my first or second game of Brood War when I first started playing, like however many years ago. I got scouted by a worker and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, why would the other player waste mining time?
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't they know that gives me the advantage? And then obviously, I stopped being a terrible player and moved on to just being a pretty bad player. And of course now recognize the advantage of scouting. And it's because if you're just the biggest badass, you can kill off probes, you can pull force mining time. Force lost mining time. Really, really impressive play there by Bonyth. Obviously, I'm blowing that out of proportion, but exactly like you said, Zero, eOnzErG is going to build his third hatchery at home to make it easier to defend against Reaver harass.
And he was able to sneak 3 links to the Bonyth base, so he confirms that this is a Reaver play. He will know the exact timing because he knows when the robotic super bay was built, and he's keeping all the units from Bonyth at home. So this 3 links run by was very, very moved from our Z player.
Oh, can he get a probe? Ooh, he was trying to return the favor after that pesky probe got a drone kill, but looks like This final Zergling should go down pretty soon, and at that point we'll get a chance to see what Bonyth really wants to do, because he's still one base Reavering it, and I mean, once that gets scouted, I don't know how much damage it's gonna do.
Oh, and the probe which killed Drone came home, so it's like he can tell the stories to other probes.
Yeah, we should write like a story about this guy. He has really seen everything. He got down to 3 HP, and now he's back home mining again. I would put that probe in like a retirement home. Like, that's the probe that you you lock to, you know, allow you to micro your Corsairs around.
Oh yeah,
or something like that.
You would make this probe more useful than just mining money, right?
Yeah, you gotta put that guy in the White House. I don't know. Well, hey, here's the shuttle. The Reaver is about to pop out, and then we get a chance to see how good Bonyth's shuttle Reaver is. And what's so scary is that even though he's been scouted, even though eOnzErG is prepared for this, I still think that Bonyth has the potential to do a ton of damage.
Yeah, that's always the case. Like, if there is any one of you who didn't see Bonyth Reaver Micro, you will see something incredible probably, and we don't know what we will see, but he always show us some like pro level of Reaver Micro. But oh, 4 Hydra is in the middle of the map, so we'll see counterattack from Eon.
That's really cool, because there's nothing there in the natural. There's a Zealot. So this is actually really slick. eOnzErG, why are you so smart? He's actually going to slow push the front. Actually, no, he's fast pushing it. Just going to go in, bust the Sunken almost immediately. And he's going to be able to range everything with his Reaper from behind. But look at these 4 Hydras from eOnzErG. They're busting through the natural. Probes are forced to be pulled to block the ramp up into the main.
Now Eon is using his excellent multitasking, his huge APM, and he's microing in the 2 places at the same time, but he's losing every Hydra in the natural.
Oh my god, are we going to watch both players kill each other? There's a defensive Reaver back at home. We'll see if eOnzErG can micro correctly against it. It wasn't firing immediately, so he's got Reavers on both sides. Bonyth is really having to micro his heart out, and I think he might just be able to hold on here. Yeah, oh man, eOnzErG losing the Hydras back at Bonyth's base, and losing almost all the Hydras back at his own. Oh, this is so crushing. Bonyth is so powerful with this Reaver play.
Yeah, I still don't know how to counter this play. This is so good. Like, Eon knew it from the beginning. He scouted it with the drone, he confirmed it with the links, and still don't know how to respond to this strategy. It's like, it looks like Imba, at least.
Oh my god, I mean, it does when Bonyth does it, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, Scarabs don't have mischance when they fire onto high ground, I believe, so he would have been able to just break up there anyway. Here comes the death play. He's going to run right into the main, pop as many drones as he can, and I think this is just going to do it.
Oh yeah, this is a speed shuttle already, and there is no hatchery in the natural of Eon, so he's distance mining, and this Reaver is still alive. Like, so.
Oh my god.
GG.
How many does this have? I think it's up to 13, 14 kills now. GG, eOnzErG taps out. Bonyth, how are you so good? eOnzErG knew 100% what to expect that whole game. Like, Bonyth could have like written his build order down on a piece of paper, put it in an envelope, and mailed it to eOnzErG and said, okay, game 2, I'm going 1 base Reaver. And eOnzErG could have opened that up and like maybe Googled some build orders and like figured it out. And he's like, all right, here's how I defend. And Bonyth just runs across the map and kills him. I'm like, I don't know if it's supposed to work that way, but damn, Bonyth is looking so good.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm just thinking, what is stopping him from making this build all over again?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, honestly, if you can do a build that overtly, that upfront, just do it until it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Maybe Bonyth, you know, it's like Superman, right? Superman, he can win just about any fight by just like running up and punching the guy. And it's like, okay, well, that's anticlimactic. But maybe that gets boring after a while. So you're like, okay, I'll only use my laser vision for this fight. But you're just like, well, why don't you just do it the way that you know will win? It's like, well, you know, it gets. I think that's what Bonyth must be thinking. It's like, well, if I just win with Reaver every time, it's not as exciting. So we'll see if we can have a different strategy, or if he just goes back to it again. I don't know. Bonyth's just looking really good right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, having 2-0 lead, it's best of 7, so it's still 2 more games to win, and doing it against Eon is for sure hard, but yeah, but it's a good win because now like eOn is a player who I might be thinking that he is like mad at himself because he's expecting that he would win. So I think that that's a very, very important win for Bony.
Well, I think in the end, the biggest thing to keep an eye on is whether or not eOnzErG can come back from this, right? Because for eOn, I feel like if he has momentum behind him, he gets a lot of confidence from that. And so if he can put together a couple of wins in a row, then he can absolutely take this series. But I mean, it is a best of 7, so there's a lot of games to play, and maybe that will give him the opportunity to come back. But he does have to find a way to beat this Reaver play. Obviously, that was a really weird map, so the other maps that we play on will be a little bit more standard. Maybe eOnzErG has a better strategy for those maps.
Yeah, and he's definitely capable of winning against Bony. So I'm really looking to see that it will be close series, and I'm waiting for Mr. eOn to show his true skill, because now Bony was so good that he wasn't like he didn't allow him to play his own game.
Yeah, if eOnzErG is hiding like a Super Saiyan level 2, now's the time to pull it out. It's like, maybe you have strategies that you save all the way for the finals. Well, here we are. It's time. like you don't have to save them any longer. You got to use them right now. And I saw several very helpful chat denizens talking about maybe some ways that would have been better to defend against that Shuttle Reaver play. I think that eOn did a kind of a creative maneuver running those 4 Hydras back or into the natural. I think maybe if he had those back at home, maybe he would have been able to defend a little bit better. It would have been closer, but at the same time, Bonyth would have been able to safely expand behind that. He would have had a huge 2-base economy behind that. It's like, well, are you going to win from that position? I don't know. It's a hard decision to make. Obviously, it's hard to disagree with players that are this good in the decisions that they make, but that's the great thing about Wars. You can be the best player in the world and still make terrible mistakes. I remember watching the video of Bisu doing blind Dragoons versus Mine Micro, and he's just so sick at it. He's building probes in the middle of it, and then you look back in his base and he's got 2 observatories. So I'm like, ooh, like, okay, all right.
Everyone makes mistakes, right?
That's true. Well, we're about to get into game number 3. It's on Benzene, and I don't think eOnzErG is going to be able to make too many mistakes if he wants to win game number 3, because Bonyth is looking impeccable.
Oh yeah, he's looking so strong right now, and this is 2 players map, so they're the only 2 players map we will have in this grand finals. So it might be the split map scenario, but we saw incredible game between Dewolt and True Touch on Benzene, so I'm also looking forward for this game to see what the players will bring for us. So if you're ready,
all right,
we can go.
I am ready. Let's go. Game number 3 of the BSL5 Grand Finals is coming up.
Yeah, let's go. So, spawning on the bottom left position as a green Protoss, we are having Bony.
That's right, and his opponent in the upper right, in the red, as Zerg. This is eOnzErG, who's down 0-2. This is not match point because it is a best of 7 here in the BSL5 Grand Finals, but still, there's a lot of momentum that is starting to kind of come up, especially when Bonyth does a build that is so telegraphed and still wins almost effortlessly with it.
Yeah, but I remember I've been speaking with Mr. Bony about about his competition with eOn, and he told me that whenever he will make any mistake, eOn is there to use this mistake against him. So now I'm sure that Bony is doing everything to not show any weakness to eOn, because eOn is a player who can immediately respond to that and use it for his favor. So, yeah, I'm really interested what we will see over here. It will be, because on the first map we saw that there was a gateway first opening when Bonnie was going for the fast expansion, but this time I think we will see the fast Nexus.
Oh my gosh, you're right. This is like the next level of cheese. This is like the eco cheese. You just run out, throw down your Nexus. And, oh my god. Well, if he's actually going to go for that. Okay, no, he's not. He was banking a lot of minerals. I was getting worried there, but it's just going to be a Forge Fast Expand. It's not like he's going to go Nexus first. I always hold my breath because there's just so many ways to lose. And in the end, on the other side, I think we are just going to see a 9 pool here out of eOnzErG.
Yeah. No, I think it's hatchery first. It's only mineral only.
Oh, I didn't see it all the way down there. I was like, I'm looking at his main base, and I'm like, I see the pool. I see he's got 9 drones. I'm like, that's a. And then I look down, and there's that hatchery there. So
yeah, but you're right.
Thanks, Zero.
He made I think it was 10 hatchery because he was afraid of gateway first. So he cut it 2 drones, made hatchery and the pool, and then added the drones to have a quicker zerglings. So yeah, that was a good catch with these 9 drones.
I'm so happy at least one of us knows what's going on in this game. Honestly, both of these series have had some games in them that are just pretty weird. Like watching Koget run 4 Marines through a sunken, I'm just like, I don't think I've ever seen that before. This is
it's not normal.
Yeah. And I do like going for the earlier hatcheries because obviously if you are gonna get super crazy ultra rush, then it's not going to. Oh my God! His probe killed another drone. What?
Oh, I thought this drone will want to sacrifice his friend, but he decided to. I will make more usage by becoming hatchery. So.
What a god. Okay, well, eventually there's gonna have to be a game where Bonyth's probe doesn't kill your drones. I feel like that's probably a pretty big disadvantage. We'll see how long he can keep the probe alive. Right as I say that, he dies. So, rip that probe. But either way, he delayed the 3rd base a little bit longer, but it's still on the way.
Yeah, he delayed it and he killed 1 drone. It's always something, and he did it in the last game, I think, too. So that's incredible, especially on that important match. Like, if he would see Bisu killing Jaedong drone, it would be like the Korean casters would go crazy at this point, I'm sure.
No, yeah, well, absolutely, and that's because like that should actually never happen. That's like when you walk outside and you find out that you've been living on Saturn this whole time. You're just like, well, I don't think that should be that way. It's like, well, no, it's not. But for this series, it is remarkable that Bonyth can pull off that level of consistency for something that is so hard to do. It's super impressive. He's going to try to get in with another probe, but actually eOnzErG blocked that one perfectly and keeps any information of his main base away from Bonyth.
Yeah, that's really good to the 9 scouting from Protoss. Protoss badly wants to know if he should go for the Corsairs, for more cannons, for quicker Templar harvester. But now he's playing blindly, and we are seeing that Aeon is going for the fast Hydra is then, so it will be 3 hatch Hydra bust, and if Bonnie will not scout it, it will be a very hard situation for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a speed Hydras ready to run across the map as soon as that finishes. And there's no scouting information, like we just said, from Bonyth. So as soon as he caught that probe, Eon was like, "Yeah, this is the way to go." And honestly, it's really effective. There's still only 1 cannon from Bonyth to defend back at home. So if he can detect that there's going to be a rush coming in, obviously he's going to throw down more. But if Eon hits before there's any extra defense, this could be really potent.
Oh, but Bonnie is going for robotics facility, so it looks like he read what Aeon is doing, because this is the perfect answer to Hydra Bust. Oh my god.
How does he know? I mean, maybe the best answer for Bonyth is always to build a Reaver, but at the same time he's also adding a 2nd cannon to his front door as well, so preparing there too. This is starting to look really good for Bonyth.
Oh, but Aeon was able to make a 4th hatchery behind it, so it's not like the normal free hatch build. He will have some potential switch to economy behind it. But his drone count is not very high.
Yeah, usually it's 2, 3, or 5. Those are your numbers of hatches, and sometimes you can go up to 6, but 4 is rare. So we'll probably see him add a fifth hatchery on here in a little bit, but this is going to be a lot of larvae spent trying to bust through the front door. Third cannon on the way, about halfway done warping in. And here are the Hydras already starting to fire at the gateway in the natural.
Yeah, he's waiting for the range for the Hydralisk to finish, and I think this will be the moment to try to target fire the cannons, and Bonyth is like fighting with the time because he badly needs this river, and there will be still some time until the Scarabs will be built after the river pops out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the cannons and the probes and the zealots will buy just barely enough time, but if eOnzErG has too many units here and he can snipe that reaver when it comes up, that's going to be really hard to deal with. And already eOnzErG's going to be able to take out the gateway, take out the forge, and even one of the cannons. And so here comes the reaver. We'll see how well this is able to defend. It should be enough to push eOnzErG back, but there's a lot of Hydras rallied in.
Oh yeah, a lot of them. I thought that Eon will switch to the drones. Oh, now he's switching to the drones. He's making 5 of them. He's adding 5th hatchery. He killed some probes. He killed the forge and the gateway, denied some mining time. But overall, I think it's still good position for Bonyth because he defended against very aggressive opening.
Behind this, Eon only has 1 gas though, so he's not going to go for like any aggressive tech route. Although he is going to go up to 5 hatcheries, and so that is still going to be a lot of production that Bonyth is going to have to deal with. Sorry, I just see these great Protoss players, and I'm just like, well, it's one of those guys. But for Bonyth, his Reaver saves his life once again, and now he's got 2 of them, so I don't think there's any chance for eOnzErG to bust here.
And he's making a scout. I don't know.
Oh, he canceled
he made a Corsair against Koget, and now he's making a scout against Zek.
No.
Of course, scouts are good, but I don't think this is the moment of the game. You can use them.
I thought he canceled it, but no, there it is. He's got that scout out there. I love it. Okay, now is this the BM scout or the defensive scout? I
honestly don't know. Oh, but Eon is going for the bust. There are only 2 rivers there if he them sniped them correctly. Oh, but Bonyth is microing as good as he can.
Oh, huge Scarab shots here. Oh, he's going to pick off one of the Reavers. Oh, huge Scarabs again. The probe's being pulled. The Reaver gets off 1 last shot, but there's still 4 or 5 Hydras here. There's nothing else to defend there in the natural. The shuttle gets out, but that's a shuttle, not a Reaver. And that means that it's only probes to defend in the natural.
Yeah, there was nothing. Oh, he's making 2 more scouts, but there was nothing. As you said, there was nothing to defend in the natural, and behind it, Eon is having pretty healthy economy, so he's saving more units.
Yeah, scouts versus Hydras. How well does that work? Okay, well, about that well. I think eOnzErG busted him. Bonyth was trying to style on him with mass scouts, and he gets busted.
Of course, the scouts with the upgrades are very mobile and very quick, so you can annoy Zek with that, but I think it's like the late stage strategy, not in the like 9 minutes of the game.
Okay, well, let me say this sentence for the first time. The scouts allow Bonyth to hold on
against Hydralisks.
and now there is going to be more Hydras coming through, but there's at least a Reaver, and this time there's a shuttle as well. Not if he runs the shuttle over the... Okay, Hydras and GG's. Wow.
GG. Yeah.
I felt like maybe I would have liked to see that game continue on. Obviously, there's weird scouts, and... okay, well, anyway, the game is over. That's about all I can say.
Yeah, the game is over, and... we are having 2-1 lead, first point for Mr. Eon, so congratulations.
Yeah, it is eOnzErG's first win. I think you gotta feel weird about getting a win that way. It's like, well, what was your secret strategy that led you to victory? It's like, well, I made Hydras.
This will help out.
But all that to say is,
Love
it's so strange to see scouts come out there.
Happy holidays,
honestly,
smiley
if
face.
Bonyth had played a standard game where you've got a bunch of gateways running, tons of zealots and dragoons coming out behind that, I'm like, well, you just hold. But instead, he's going for 2 Stargate Fleet Beacon scouts.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the game where you got to try to pull out something crazy because you're up 2-0. But I think if Bonyth had played a standard game, he would have been in a good spot.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I know that someone on network said to Bonyth that if he will win the game with the scouts, he will add up something to the prize pool. So maybe he was motivated by that. I don't know, but I don't think the thing that this guy promised to him would motivate Bonyth to do that. So maybe he actually had some strategy prepared with the raids.
Wait, did
With the
was there just like a did you just get like a gigantic donation?
Yeah, I will repeat it right now.
Okay.
Hopefully this will help out. Love what you are doing for Foreigner Brood War. Happy holidays, smiley face.
Wow, $155 donations from Mr. Brood War for life. This is so much money, and we already gathered $300 for the BSL6 ladder stage tournaments. And don't forget, boys and girls, today after the grand finals there will be BSL6 announcement. So don't go anywhere after the finals. That's a huge amount of money.
That's incredible. Also want to say, I mean, a shout out to all 500 viewers watching that. That's a crazy amount of viewers for watching a Foreign Brood War tournament in 2018. If you can make huge donations like that, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
thank
really
you so much.
it.
If all you can do is watch, it's super good to have you here. But wow, that is actually incredible. So much support here for BSL. We got $1,000 prize pool sponsored by Blizzard and a ton of donations and help from members of the community. So just a big thanks to everybody out there for your help and support for the Brood War scene.
Yeah, exactly. This is like Mr. Rapid is saying what I want to say in the perfect words. So I don't. It's like it's much better than I would say it. So I will just say thank you everyone for watching, for also chatting, for putting comments, giving us feedback, because thanks to you we can change into the better direction. And yeah, and these donations are also giving us some motivation. Now we will have resources to run the ladder stage on which will start. This is a surprise, but I will tell it after the grand finals.
Yeah, okay. No spoilers, Zero. We've got to finish the grand finals first, and we're already 3 games through. That means that our the meaty map to our BSL Grand Finals map sandwich is going to be Circuit Breakers. In the middle, I think this is perfect because this is the map that eOnzErG can use to come back and even up the series at 2-2, or it's the map where Bonyth can really cement a huge lead, go up 3-1, and put himself 1 game away from being the BSL Season 5 champion.
Yeah, and we can call it the BSL World Champion, even if you.
I guess it is.
Yeah, so
I'm going to count the number of different countries for players after this, but it's basically a world tournament. It's the biggest international tournament for Brood War in the world. So I'm super excited to see who comes out on top. Game number 4, I can't wait.
Yeah, game number 4 will be our Circuit Breaker. Mr. Frank, thank you for your subscription. I'm really appreciating your support. You can use both of my emotes. Both of them are really good. This is the first one and this is the second one. So you can choose which one of your emotes you like more. So
yeah, there's so many to choose from. I'm so happy that I can use those emotes, and you will be too when you subscribe. So get out there and do that if you can. Otherwise, stick around. Game 4 is coming up.
Okay, so let's go to the game 4 between Bonyth and eOnzErG and the grand finals of BSL5. So spawning on the bottom left position as a brown Protoss player, we are having Bonyth.
And his opponent in the upper right at cross spawns on Circuit Breakers in the white. Our Zerg player is eOnzErG, who's brought it back to 1-2, but he's still down a game in this best of 5 BSL5 grand finals, or best of 7 finals.
Yeah, best of 7, but Circuit Breaker is a map Zerg likes against Protoss, and even the cross positions should be good for eOn, so he should be happy that this game is on this map. And for the second I thought that I launched the wrong game on Benzen again, but because the cross positions was in the same positions of the player, but no, it's a secret breaker, so no mistakes.
Yeah, it's certainly a bigger version than Benzene, that's for sure. It is probably our longest rush distance of any map. I don't know, in the way of an Eddy, it's a pretty long rush distance too. But this is your classic matchup. Cross positions Benzene, or cross positions on Circuit Breaker, cross positions Fighting Spirit. You're just gonna have a big map, lots of bases to work with, and it's very rare that you see a game just end at the beginning of it with something like an 8 racks or a 4 or 5 pool, because if you scout incorrectly, it's just going to be rough. Although you can see that Bonyth is actually being very aggressive with his scouting, double probe scout after throwing down that forge. So see what he wants to get up to here.
Yeah, I think he wanted to find eOn before he will make a cannon, and now he will be able to make a Nexus after the forge, and maybe even a gateway before the cannon. So like having this scouting so early is so good. But Bonyth is not known for starting with the fast forge. Like he's like out of our best Protoss players, he's the one who is most aggressive, and he's almost always opening with the fast gateway. So this is a mind game. He wanted to tweak eOn and to start with the forge just to do something unordinary from his normal plays.
Yeah, it is going to be Nexus before any cannons are going to come up here. So if he walked into the base and saw that there was a 9 pool, he'd definitely be a little bit more scared back at home and wouldn't feel comfortable enough to throw down that Nexus that early. So let's see if Bonyth's probe can kill another drone this time. He's done it 2 games in a row, and he's going back for it again. He's already gotten one of these drones down to half HP. He's gonna keep trying.
Yeah, and he started firing the right probe. It's only it's only 15 HP left. Oh, eOn will make a gas out of this drone, so he will save him.
Watch him then cancel the gas because he didn't want to make it in the first place. He's just doing that to get his HP back. No, he's gonna let that one finish, but the third hatchery is already coming down here from Bonyth, and I think, or from eOnzErG, and I think that's what Bonyth needs to scout instead of just trying to kill a drone in the main base.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, but I thought he will be caught. That's so bad. So important to keep this probe alive for as long as he can. It would be the best for Bonyth to keep it until the speed will be done. It's so hard to do, but this is the perfect scenario when he will get all the informations what eOn is doing. Because in the previous game he lost a probe very early and he was playing blindly and he chose it correctly, but maybe he could adjust his strategy in the previous game if he would keep this scouting probe alive for a little bit longer.
I'm still waiting. This probe's still alive. He does scout the third base and get out safely. Probably just going to head back home with that as the first Zealot heads back across the map to replace him. But both players are just macroing at this point. Nothing super crazy to write home about. Gas coming up in the natural here as well. And not the case for eOnzErG. So he is still just going to be content to have that one hatch as his Hydra Den is going to finish. He's really liking these Hydra plays. We haven't seen any like surprise Mutatech. Every once in a while, you'll see a player try to mix that in if they know that their opponent isn't going to go for a lot of Corsairs. And if you can snipe the first one with Scourge, then that's a possibility, but it's been all Hydra all the time. eOnzErG is going to be right back at it again, and the Zealot's going to scout it.
Yeah, it will be scouted, so it's not the best for eOn, I think, and it's great for Bonyth that he was able to scout it, because now... But the biggest question now is how much he should invest into the cannons, because if he will overinvest, it will not be the best situation.
BW fan for 2 decades. Thanks to the casters.
That's right. He's only got one right now. I think in a moment we should start to see a second cannon come down. It seems like it's kind of the way he usually likes to play that. But I want to see how well, or if Bonyth, or if eOnzErG is going to commit to this like a huge 5-hatch Hydra bust. So he's got his 4th hatchery on the way. Should be a 5th one coming here in just a moment.
Yeah, so it's a fake Hydra bust. But Bonyth is investing 300 minerals into the cannons and making robotics facilities, so he's investing a lot into that.
Wow, yeah. I think eOn really sold this really well. Like, I'm gonna come for you. I've tried to Hydra bust you 2 games in a row, so you should get ready. And he's building 5 cannons back at home, or 4 cannons, and then a pylon behind them to power them. So, yeah, this is really well done by eOnzErG. He basically made Bonyth make a nexus that he won't be able to mine from. That's a big commitment.
When Eon is even annoying with the 2 Hydralisks. So, like, he's pretending like, I'm really going for it, I will destroy all the buildings and then go for the cannons, so you should make more of them. But now Bonyth is having this Corsair scouting, so he knows that this is a fake Hydra bust. He's probably regretting that he put so many cannons.
It's gonna move his Hydras. Yeah, and he will be regretting. Yeah, 4 cannons, totally useless, at least for a little bit. But where does eOnzErG actually want to go right now? He is getting Hydra range and +1 missile attacks. So he is going to be macroing quite heavily here. He's going to be going up to 6 hatcheries behind this. So this is going to be crazy production as he finishes his lair.
And I'm wondering if this time we will set a scout. Oh, Fleet Beacon. There is Fleet Beacon. So what is going on with this Bonyth strategies this game?
All right. Yeah, here we go. It's time for Scouts version 2. He's getting +1 air weapons. A second Stargate is coming down. Fleet Beacon on the way. Where's my scouts at? Where are they at? There they are.
Oh yeah, there are scouts. Actually, this is a prepared strategy for today. I can't believe this is happening.
And so Bonyth is angry that he got punked by the fake Hydra bust. And so now he's going to say, well, you know, you were actually Hydra busting me in the last game. And then you killed me because I was going for scouts. Now, there's no Hydra bust. It's time for scouts.
Yeah, and
he's getting scarabs as well for his Reaver to hold on at the front door. So I think, man, what is 2-bait scout a thing? This is where somebody writes a post about how this is like actually a really good build and it'll be meta any day now. I don't think so.
Me neither, I don't know, especially that this is 6 hatchery build from Eon. He's having good economy. Of course he will try to like combine it with the Reavers, so maybe he can deal really damage with it. He will be able to snipe some overlords, but overall I think this is huge investment for the scouts and they have a huge potential, but I don't know if it's good enough to play against Bonyth this way, against Eon this way.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think game 1 we saw exactly what it looks like when you try to go scouts against a player where you need to play standard against. And Bonyth this time he did something else that was really weird. So first of all, he slows down his scout build by building 4 cannons, and then he builds all the way up to Reaver tech to hold against the Hydra bust that he already knows is not coming. So that's a little bit weird to me because he slows down the scout timing. Like scouts don't get stronger as the game goes on. They're just not great. They're as a unit, they're fine. They just cost an insane amount of money to build. So, is he getting the scout upgrades too? Yeah, okay. He's researching gravitic thrusters, upgrade you will never see, and a gravitic drive for shuttles as well. So everything's just going to be moving really fast here for Bonyth.
Yeah. So now the scouts will have a speed of the Scourges of the shuttle, so that will be really fast unit. And now everyone will realize
4
that
scouts.
This is scouts.
Yeah, 4 scouts, 1 shot of Zergling, guys. That's the plan. I don't know. Ooh, trying for a 4th base here. Actually, what? There's proxy robo?
Oh, he's probably he wants to expand over there, I think. So he sent the 2 probes into 2 different directions just to, in case if one of them would be scouted, and he's just building, yeah, 4 cannons probably.
Okay. I'm not used to seeing this particular structure be how you defend a base, but I guess he just wants to build a Reaver on the high ground and build the Nexus there soon thereafter. But what are the scouts doing, Zero? There's 6 of them out on the map.
They will snipe overlords so beautifully that I love to watch at that, but like, let's see if... Oh, but he will... Oh, I thought he will lose one. But he needs to be careful.
Oh, no.
He's very active with the Hydralisks.
Yeah, this is pretty scary. If you lose your scouts, I can't even add up how many resources lost that would be. 6 scouts are like an entire Protoss army.
And this is a weird choice from Bonyth because he will have a game in the way of an eddy, and I think it would be better map to do that because there is an island. There are 2 islands over there, so you could defend it with the scouts. Oh, but now he's using them like
He's one-shotting drones, so I mean, there's only so many bad things you can say about that. He's killing a bunch of drones. Oh my god, he killed an entire mineral line with 6 scouts.
Yeah, there are some spores. Oh, there are spores in the middle. He's doing the thing that 2-touch did against Koget.
Ooh, lost a scout there. That is very expensive. And now he's flying into double spores? Not like this.
Yeah, not like this. You don't want to lose any shot, any scout right now. It's 275 minerals and 125 gas. This is too much investment for one unit. Oh, but Eon
he's gonna do it. eOnzErG is gonna get ensnare and build queens to kill the scouts with it.
This is perfect.
I love every part of this game. This is so good. Now watch Eon try to bust this third base attempt. There is a Reaver on the top, or the high ground, and it's just gonna fire huge scarabs into these masses of hydras and blow them all up here. The cannon's doing a great job defending. I think Bonyth will just barely be able to hold this. Yeah, final scarab's gonna kill off this final hydralisk, and boom goes the dynamite as they held third base.
And now there are 7 scouts left. Oh, there will be second Weaver in this expansion, so maybe Bonnie will hold it because there are more reinforcements from Eon. And he can reproduce so many Hydras right now, but it's so important for Bonnie to keep this base alive.
Well, how does he expect to beat the 7 scouts with 25 hydralisks, Zero?
Yeah,
there's a big miscalculation on one end of those. And Eon turns around in the face of the mighty scout army and a few.
Yeah, and oh, maybe eventually it will be some kind of carrier switch, but no, I don't think we are there yet.
No,
but,
no.
I mean,
no,
the
once
fantasy
you start
world.
making scouts, yeah, you don't stop making scouts, Zero. You commit. He's got both upgrades. He's got speed and vision, I believe, for these scouts, and wow, he's got +2 air weapons as well. Oh no, he's gonna fly over the Hydras!
Oh, and now
so
he sees
scary.
the screens.
Oh man, this is so scary. So Bonyth has secured himself a third base. It's got a gas, but he's not mining from that. He's fueling this massive scout army. He's adding on 2 more, by the way. But here come the queens. Oh my god, he's gonna try to snipe the queens. Where's the ensnare? The queens didn't ensnare the scouts.
Yeah, they didn't.
He's gonna kill all the overlords.
Yeah, this is so beautiful. They are having so much damage. Now we will have ensnare, but now they can escape to the main base and wait until ensnare will be done.
Yeah, that's the only queen. He killed off the previous 2 queens. Oh my god, that's so heartbreaking. eOnzErG went down to like 20 over his supply cap from losing 3 or 4 overlords. This is not what you want to have, and now Eon's gonna have to turn around and try to rebust this third base, but it's definitely not gonna work.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is there are 2 rivers on cliff, and there are 4 more rivers.
He's gonna drop him. He's got a huge amount of overlords gonna drop from the right-hand side. That actually could do pretty well, because but the scouts
are close. Yeah,
you can kill all the overlords with the scouts. Oh my god.
Oh, you should unload it as quickly as you can now. Bonnie realized. Look how quickly the overlords are dying from the scouts.
Oh my god, this is so crazy. He is gonna try for the drop, but the scouts are here. They're gonna start picking off overlords. He's not dropping everything out quite as quickly as he would have liked to.
But
instead of targeting,
so huge
oh my god, he has 6 reavers.
Oh, and now overlords will die. This is the perfect army composition. New meta.
He's got 3 shuttles with 2 reavers apiece and 8 scouts to. Okay, he's only got 4 scouts now, but he's building more.
Oh, he will unload it on the 12 o'clock. There is nothing to defend it. Oh, but he's losing some scouts. Nope, not even losing.
Okay, I don't. When you've got a scarab for every hydralisk, survey says, that's not gonna be great. Although I will say the DPS from Reavers is actually very small. So in the end, how many Reavers did he lose? He has 1 shuttle on 1 HP, a Reaver on 1 HP, and then he saved the other 2 Reavers. So he lost 3 scouts and 3 Reavers, or 4 Reavers. No, it was 3 Reavers. And he didn't kill the base. So I don't know if that's the trades we're looking to make here, Bonyth.
Yeah, especially that he's almost mined out in the main base and in the natural, so his resources are limited. So of course he will take this natural over here, and with the river it should be relatively easy to hold it. But eOn is having 4 mining bases right now, and he's taking bottom right and middle right of the map. So he's expanding like crazy, and he knows that if Bony will be in one place, he will not be able to be in the another spot, because this army is quick but not very mobile overall.
Well, Reaver's just slaughtering Hydras as they come to try to kill this 4th base. More Hydras on the way, but this time they're going to attempt to be dropped into the main. Still a very strong scout force. Never thought I'd say that sentence, but
yeah, especially in the grand finals, right?
In the grand finals!
Yeah.
But a huge ensnare catches every single scout! That makes them basically worthless, but I mean, Reavers are still Reavers!
Yeah, Reavers are still Reavers, and they are doing Reavers' job, which is clearing every single ZZZero unit.
Yeah, they are doing what Reavers do best. Reavers are like Tiggers and bouncing. It's the only thing that they do. And eOn keeps trying to drop and run Hydras in here. I think it's time for some more tech, eOn, because Hydras are they're not doing it.
This is the 2 upgraded Hydra, so upgrades are great. Oh, and he's making 12 Hydra drop. Oh, it will be maybe even more. And it might work because Bonyth is transferring all the Reavers to the natural of this top left base. So it might be a brilliant move.
And the scouts are way out of position as well at the 9 o'clock, and they're actually flying southward. So this is... Wait, is this really how we lose this base? He's had so many Reavers defending this with cannons for so long, and now it just dies to a double Hydra drop. He's ferrying in more Hydras. He's really going to crush this base.
He knows that this is the best position he can attack, because without this base, Bony couldn't be able to attack, and he's even faking the attack from the front in the same time, just to...
Well, here we go. A lot of Hydras in here. They are very heavily upgraded. Can he get the Reavers in to defend in time? I think the answer is probably no on that one. So this is a great way to take out a huge part of Bonyth's economy.
So luckily for Bony, he took in the natural base of this, but he loses 1. In the same time, Bony killed the middle right expansion with 6 Reavers and 9 scouts. So yeah, counter attack.
Sure. Okay. Well, these scouts and Reavers, that's the combination, the army comp we're dealing with here, and it's going pretty well for Bonyth. He's got such a huge foothold in eOnzErG's natural that now it's up to him to try to hang on and find a way to retake this huge green goo on everything. It's all ensnared, but I mean, that doesn't affect Reaver's Scarab shots, so...
But, yeah, these Reavers are dealing so much damage that eOn can't even deal any damage to it. There are like, multiple Scarabs. He can just wait until he will be out of the Scarabs, I think.
Yeah, spoiler alert, you can build more of those guys. He's gonna use his scouts to kill spore colonies. What?
Oh, and he's killing some overgrowths? If eOn will lose the main base, look how many drones there are. He will lose. If he will lose every drone, he will drop in the supplies into the cell.
Oh my god, the Scarabs! They're gonna kill everything! This is huge! Oh, I never thought I would watch a game end this way. Wow. Wow, Bonyth is amazing.
Oh yeah, and he's having 2,500 gas, so he can switch to the Archons, I think, if he will decide to later. Oh my god.
I mean, he could switch to doing any real strategy he wanted, but somehow he's making this one work.
Oh, the Reavers are looking so bad in, like, they are looking imba in Bonyth's hands.
Well, I mean, also he's winning a game with mass scouts, so whoever, NetWars citizen of the internet, it's time to pay up. If you did say that you would donate if Bonyth won a game with scouts, well, the time is now, my friend. Wow, what a way to devastate. I mean, is there any way that eOnzErG can hold on from here?
Like, see, he's still mining from 3 bases, where Bony is mining from only 1. So overall, I think, yeah, I think still there is still a shot for eOn, because one bad move from Bony and like that, and if he will lose the Reavers for free, he will be in terrible position. Oh, he's committing to that.
Yeah, he is losing. He's losing quite a few Reavers for free here. Well, you said it, Zero. He just lost every Reaver. So Yeah, I guess there sure is a way Eon can win this game.
Yeah, definitely. And oh, now even Bony lost one more shuttle. And now the supplies are getting closer and closer after this bad engagement from Bony. Oh,
Yeah,
to Lurker drop into the natural. Oh, but the
God.
river will realize.
Oh my god,
So
these
many
lurkers are gonna
probes
kill
are
everything.
there.
Oh my god, these two lurkers killed every single probe.
26
50.
kills on 2 lurkers.
26 kills on 26.
This is
These
how well
guys are.
bases
This
of
is not
Bony
a
are.
boxing match. This is two guys standing against each other and letting each other slug them in the face as hard as they can. It's like, okay, now it's your turn. Okay, now it's your turn. He's like, Bonyth is like, all right, I'm gonna beat you with scouts. Eon's like, I'm gonna ensnare all your scouts and kill them all. And then Bonyth's like, I'm gonna kill your main and your natural with 6 reavers and scouts. And eOnzErG is like, I'm gonna kill 26 probes with 2 lurkers. They're just taking turns beating each other in the face. But I think finally, Bonyth is gonna restabilize over here.
Oh, and Eon is committing to the big attack. I didn't expect that. Oh, the
I mean,
fights.
these are 2/2 Hydras against plus 3/1 scouts. And I think, yeah, the scouts and the mass cannons and the reavers win.
Oh yeah.
Those lurkers are still alive.
Yeah, because there was no observer, so now finally the scouts will clear them.
What
Bony is
on
mining
earth
from
is
two
this
bases.
game? Yeah. So let's see. Eon is re-expanding. Eon's actually double expanding behind this. He has 3 mining bases, whereas DeWalt did it again. Bonyth has only 2 mining bases. So I guess Eon's ahead?
Yeah, in theory, I think he should be ahead. Especially if he will kill this main base, this base over here, I think he will be in perfect position. But there are 4 rivers over here, so I think it will be hard to kill this base. These Hydras are dying so quickly, I can't watch. Oh.
Yeah, this is definitely not safe for Zerg. Watching Reavers just kill Infinity Hydras. Let's see. One of these Reavers has 10 kills, but I think there were more that there were some that had more earlier. Well, I think it's time to maybe slow down on the shenanigans here. Also, maybe time for eOnzErG to make a unit that isn't a Hydralisk. But he is actually building some more lurkers. Probably just to drop in the mineral line again, because that was so effective earlier.
Yeah, it did a good job. Now the saturation of the bases. Bony is forced to rebuild a lot of probes, so that's always huge.
Well, eOnzErG is going to lose a bunch of overlords here as Bonyth goes hunting. He probably could have just run down to the 3 o'clock or maybe even 4 o'clock and just killed every drone, because there's nothing there to defend them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like. Do you mean 3 o'clock? Like, if Eon would transfer drones, like, oh, do you mean the natural of the bottom
yeah,
right,
the
right?
4 o'clock.
Yeah,
the
okay.
drones ran right by the 3 and ran to the 4. I thought they were going to mine from the 3.
Yeah, okay.
But
yeah, it's definitely.
there's a lot of
undefended.
there's a lot that these scouts can do. Look at Eon. He's still throwing Hydras into this huge cannon Reaver wall.
In the same time, he did a river drop.
Oh,
the lurker drop.
Lurkers in the main. They're killing every probe again.
Oh, so
8 kills on 1.
multitasking from Eon.
Yeah, I guess that's why the Hydras were attacking from the front to keep the Reavers there. But now, I mean, Bonyth has to have like single-digit probe numbers. Let's see, he's got 6 probes. Okay, he's got 3 mining gas in his natural and 3 in the main, so he's got a total of 12 workers.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's 25th minute of the game, and it shows us how good of a harassment Eon was doing. And if he would have probes and would mine from these 2 bases, it would be very good position from Bony. But now he has to rebuild the probe. His income is not very high, so yeah, it's getting more and more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Reavers are very cost-effective units, right? So he can hang on a low eco for a while. You do have to pay for Scarabs, but he's going to be able to hold on here. The problem is that eventually eOnzErG's huge economy is going to kick in. He's mining full-on off 5 bases, or let's call this 4, maybe 3.5, but it's more than Bonyth has, and this is finally might be critical mass here. Let's see how well these Scarabs can hit. He's got the shuttle there to try to micro. The Scarabs are good, but yeah, he's losing some Reavers.
Oh, but I think overall Bonyth will defend it because reverse. Oh, but he will lose the Nexus. That's huge. That's good that he hadn't really saturated. He can transfer the probes and still mine it fine.
He's gonna lose more Reavers here, and this is damage he cannot afford to take. I think that might be the killing blow. Although, look at him go. He's back in the natural at the bottom right. He's trying to bust in the lurkers, though. There's no observer here, and so that means that the Reavers can't push in any farther.
Yeah, that's brilliant move to put a lurker over there just because normally you're not taking observer with your push.
Oh, he's actually forgotten a scout at the 6 o'clock location. It's just kind of chilling down there. So that's he's forgotten 2 scouts in the main as well. So he's got 3 scouts that he could have with this army that he doesn't have anymore. The Reavers are doing a great job though, killing off these Hydras and really starting to make a lot of headway here in the natural expansion. But now with reinforcements coming in from behind, I think he might just lose some of these Reavers. The scouts certainly are going to go down. The Reavers being micro, but he does lose the final Reaver.
But the scouts are exchanging with the Hydras relatively well. He's still killing drones with that.
Yeah, he's gonna kill every drone down here. Oh my gosh.
You need to be very skilled player to do that, but it's still a very effective strategy, we need to say that.
I mean, Bonyth is, what, 14 supply up? He's finally brought those extra scouts back.
We have a drop in the top left. Ooh, there will be lurkers over there and some Hydralisks. There is observer, so, but maybe he will try to snipe the Nexus? I don't know. Oh, he's sniping the Ops.
Yeah, there's an observer here, so I don't think he's going to be able to kill this Nexus, even though it's on kind of low HP. Actually, these are +2 Hydras. I think he's going to get the Nexus, so it's so low! Oh my god, he kills the final Hydra just in time.
Yeah, but Bonyth is mining only with 4 probes in this base. I'm wondering why he's distance mining now. He transferred this probes to this top left base. This is 71 and it's 71 supplies right now. This is how even this game is.
This is so insane. What on earth? This is the BSL finals, by the way. We're really delivering on every possible prediction anybody could have had. I don't think anybody could have predicted this. We're back up to 7 scouts. He's got an 8th that he's not using. But, you know, eOnzErG is continuing to commit to only Hydras, and eventually I think maybe the cost effectiveness will be high enough for Bonyth, but he just has 0 economy.
Yeah, that's his weak point. And Bonyth did only two ground units, if you will not count the reverse, two units from the gateway, and he transferred the Zealots. But now Aaron is going for the final bust, I think. At least he thinks that.
Oh, that how does Bonyth still have 3 Reavers on the high ground? Oh my gosh, that's... This is so crazy to me, Zero. I have no analysis on what a crazy game this has been. He's going to try to run 2 magic Hydras in from the back, but those get taken out instantly from some extremely vigilant scouting. And now he's back out on the map again. He's got a shuttle with 2 Reavers in it and 6 scouts trying to bust through this 12 o'clock base.
And killing every overload right now matters a lot because income of Aeon is not very big, so if he will be forced to rebuild the
honestly,
overloads, it's a huge deal.
If Bonyth could build a Dark Templar, that would help him out so much, but he just has almost, well, I say he has no money. He's got a gigantic gas bank. But yeah, minerals are going to be hard to come by, and here comes Eon trying to bust again.
Yeah, this is the 10th attempt of killing this base, I think, and now it might work. There will be still 2 Reavers on the back.
Scouts up in the front, Reavers in the back. I mean, that seems like a pretty good combination to me. And now Eon's going to lose like 5 more Overlords. Oh my gosh, this is so painful.
Yeah, Aeon is supply blocked, but he's mining from 3 bases. So maybe it's not that bad.
I don't know, his economy is not that great. How are we at 30 minutes and our players have yet to break 100 supply? Like,
yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, we are not, and not having like Protoss playing 30 minutes game only on 1 gateway for the whole game. It's also not very normal.
And scouts are 3 supply units. Like, these are chunky guys. These are thick scouts. So they make up a lot of supply. So Eon's entire army is 3 Reavers and 5 or 6 scouts. And here comes more Hydras in again. We'll see if they can do the job this time.
Oh, I think Aeon will bust it this time.
How good are these Reavers? They're going to need the best connections of their lives here. Finally, the scouts have gone down. The three Reavers are here. Is he going to hold this?
Yeah, he will
No
defend
way!
it. He started firing the perfect Hydra every time. I don't know how he's doing that.
This is so hilarious. But there's only one scout now.
Maybe
So-
some Muta switch right now would be smart.
Well, he does have 1,000 gas, so there's definitely room for that. Although I will say that eOnzErG is about to mine out of most of so he's going to mine out of the 12 o'clock base. He's going to mine out of the bottom right base here pretty soon. He's still got 2 good bases left, and Bonyth can't really do anything. He's finally got one up and running, but he's still not mining from the natural, so...
We are having some harassment with the river. Bonnie is doing whatever he can, but he can't lose this river. This is so hard. Only 34 HP on this shuttle, but he's still doing the job. Denying some mining, killing some drones. That's always good.
He's down to 1 shuttle, 1 reaver, and 1 scout harassing. But even that, I mean, it'd be a miracle if he gets the shuttle back safely. Oh, there it goes!
Yeah, that's goodbye the shuttle. There are 5 rivers more in this top left base. I would like to see Archon switch from Bonnie. It would be smart to have like 10 Archons, some High Templars.
Yeah, he's got so much gas, he just needs to produce the units. But he doesn't actually have a High Templar archives. He has... Wait, does he?
Oh, he did. He is not having, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't have one. Okay, so here we go again. All right, try number 632.
Exactly.
We're gonna try to bust up here. The first Reaver doesn't even die.
Yeah, this ramp could be called the ramp of dying Hydralis because so many Hydras died over there. It's so incredible. Like, I would like to see how many units died in this game.
Oh yeah, let's take a look. Okay, these Reavers don't actually have that many kills because they keep getting remade, but these are like the 300 Reavers. These are Spartan Reavers here. They're just gonna hold that pass until the end of the movie. eOnzErG, he's done nothing but press the H button this whole time. Ooh, man, well, we're gonna see it again. Here we go.
But if Bonnie would do this strategy with Corsairs and connect it with Disruption Web, it could be even better, maybe.
Oh my god.
He's killing everything.
This is so funny to me, because Eon just keeps shoving a million Hydras into Reavers, and they all die. So he's gonna try to drop again. All right, here we go.
That's very smart. He saw the Reavers in the natural and now dropping. That's very, very smart.
Here we
Yeah,
go. Try to drop into the main. There's a Reaver here, so it's going to be good in the beginning, but I don't think it's going to last very long. Yeah, there it goes, and now the probes are starting to fall. He needs to save those probes because he has no economy. The Zergling's running up the front door. Those are actually going to be able to get on top of the Reavers and take them out.
Is this the moment finally when Aeon will bust Bonnie? After, like, as you said, 660, 36 times?
It's almost, that's a conservative estimate, Zero. He's got Hydras on the high ground, Hydras on the low ground. The Reavers fall and Bonyth. GG's.
What a game.
34 minutes long. Scout Reaver versus Mass Hydras. What a game. We're mining from every base on Circuit Breaker. It's the defining game, and eOnzErG ties the series up at 2-2 in a best-of-7 grand finals of BSL5.
Yeah, that's very, very impressive. Like, that this game, like, if not this Lurker drops from Aeon, he would lose this game, I'm sure. But this Lurker drops, he killed so many probes and he gained some advantage thanks to that. And look at the overall overview. It's such a huge advantage for Aeon, for Bonnie, and still he lost because he was so cast efficient, but didn't mind.
Yeah, if you click the units tab on that overlay, eOnzErG built almost 700 units. Bonyth built 172. I don't know what fraction that is, but he was able to kill almost 600 units while only losing 160. So that's just mind-blowing to me. That's insanity. I cannot believe how long Bonyth was able to hold on. And it gives you the idea that if he had just like a slightly better position there, he could have absolutely won the game. But eOnzErG, he prevails. in the end, eventually, his tenacity shows through, and he ties up the series at 2-2.
Yeah, huge deal to not like give the Bonyth to match point. Now it's like only best of 3 left from 0-0.
A best of 3 for $400 in first place and $250 for second. A lot on the line here between two of the best non-Korean players in the world.
And we had some huge donation during our game. I didn't want to do it during the game, but now I think I can thank to the person who and we play the donation. Oh, Mr. Support BSL, and I think this is the nickname made just to support BSL. Thank you for your support, my friend.
Wow, nice username there. Not the guy, the actual nice username. It's cool to see so much support just continuing to come in. And we're almost to 600 viewers for this grand finals. I just can't thank you guys enough. It's really amazing to see everything really come together. We've got great players, great games, great tournament. We've got tons of people watching, huge donations, big prize pool. It's like, I mean, what more could you want, right? It's such an amazing night for Brood War.
This is why BSL was made for, just to bring some conjuncture. Is this the word? Like to bring some goodness to Brood War, and now we are doing that. 600 people would like to watch the foreigner Brood War. That's excellent. Thank you for being here, everyone, and for your all your supports. We get so many donations from $5 to $2 to 50 and 151 even, and that's a huge support. And Mr. Benevolent Beer gave us 1,000 bits. That's also huge. Thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, so much support, man. Really love to see all of that. I can't. All we have to do is keep having 37-minute long Scout Reaver games, and we'll keep getting more donations, Zero. It's a flawless plan.
Yeah, that's so easy to do. So maybe we will replay the game again.
Okay, let's not go that far.
Yeah,
I actually want to get into game number 5. Our next map is going to be Aztec. It's a polarizing game. I don't know of anybody who just feels meh about this map. Either people love it or they hate it, but it is going to decide which one of our players will go up to the BSL Grand Finals.
Yeah, and this is the 5th match of today, and yeah, we are going direct to the game if you are ready, Mr. Rapid.
I'm ready, let's do it.
Let's go! Game number 5 of the BSL5 Grand Finals. So, spawning on the 12 o'clock position as a white Protoss, we are having Bonyth.
That's right, and his opponent on the left-hand side of your map in the purple as Zerg. This is eOnzErG, who has tied up the series at 2-2. One of these players is about to go on to match point. It's a huge amount of momentum. This is really the tipping point of the series. And I love that this is a best of 7 because you really just get a chance to see two just like titans of non-Korean Brood War just slug it out over and over again. Different strats, different map, weirder games than I could ever imagine. We've just got every possible outcome here today.
Oh yeah, that's like, I don't know what else we could ask for than this build from Bonyth, because he gave us so much fun to watch this game. And Aztec? I feel like this is even better map to do that, because you have like three bases with the cliffs where you could defend it with the rivers and the cannons over there. But I don't think Bonyth will risk it again. And I'm expecting a long macro game over here.
I hope so. I just want to see a more diverse strategy because we saw Eon mix in a few queens to ensnare the scouts. Didn't really do all that much. They weren't super effective in game 3. And then in game 4, he only built Hydralisks. But actually, he switched into like a control group of Zerglings there at the end. And those were actually what allowed him to get on top of the Reavers and really put a lot of damage onto them. So that was really surprising. But at the same time, I think Bonyth knows that eOnzErG probably wants to play a mid-game or an early to mid-game Hydra strategy. So maybe that means he can prepare a little bit better for that. But I think it's safe to say that we'll probably still see Reavers out of Bonyth.
Yeah, this Weaver is like, I was sure like four times, I'm sure that 4 times I thought that Bonnie died. And then this Weaver is like pulled out so amazing Scarab shots. So yeah, Reavers is definitely an option. It's a more probable option for Bonnie than for any other Protoss.
Yeah, and you see exactly why. He's so good with those. But I mean, maybe we can say that Eon is the same way with Hydras, because he seems to be pretty good with those. Although, I will say that he did lose 600 supply worth of Hydras that game, so...
And still won, so this macro needs to be perfect. If you're losing 600 Hydra's and still winning the game.
Yeah, okay, we'll just say his macro is really good, and put it that way. So Aztec is a weird map because you do have a couple of different entrances that you need to block, but it does have sort of a safe expo that you can go for. Although Vion is being aggressive here. Second Zealot pops out just in time to kind of push these pesky Zerglings away. But hey, there's still more coming out across the map. It's all Lings all the time. Eon's going really aggressive here.
Yeah, and if he will kill this gateway, the cannon just started and there is still some time until the 4th Zealot, so Bonnie needs to be so careful. If he will lose 1 Zealot, it will be terrible for him. Even 1 Zealot.
Yeah. Well, especially if it allows a hole in the wall for Zerglings to run through. This is a lot of Lings, and I mean, the Zealots are starting to take a ton of hits. If this gateway goes down and the Lings get in, cannon is going to be not enough. He needs to pull probes. He's going to pull probes just at the last possible second to try to hold on.
Oh, the cannon will be not there, so the Lings can surround it. So, but the probes are fighting. This is so close.
Oh my god! 3 Zerglings get through. He needs to put up more cannons and kill these Lings. He's going to get 1, 2, and the Lings are going to kill all the probes.
Ooh, Aeon is so close.
Oh my god.
To be having the lead in this grand finals, but the cannon should be there in few seconds. Oh, Aeon is sending more and more Lings, so he wants to finish that.
Only fighting.
Yeah, there's no gateway, keep in mind. So finally the Zerglings get cleared up. There is 1 cannon, and I think that has the DPS that as long as it is protected, Bonyth should be able to stabilize, but he lost a lot of probes.
Oh, this probe will scout that there are more Lings coming, so he will be able to block the entrance, I think. Oh, but will he be quick enough?
Yeah, oh my god, just barely! A few Lings get through, they're gonna try to get over the cannon, there's damage being dealt, can he kill off these Zerglings in time? He's trying to target fire down the cannon, it goes down!
Oh my god, he killed! Now there is no hope for Bonnie, he's having only probes left and GG!
No! Damn!
Oh, 5 minutes game!
What a game! After a 37-minute slugfest, the next game is 5 minutes long. I love it. eOnzErG comes down from 0-2 to win 3 games in a row, take the lead in the series, and take us to match point in our best of 7 grand finals.
Yeah, he's 1 game away from winning the BSL5 championship. BSL World Championship. I can even call it that way.
What a god. I can't say enough good things about this series. It's got everything. It's got the fast games. It's got the long games. It's got the standard strats, the non-standard strats. You're just getting everything. This is like you go to like the pizza buffet and it's just got every slice of pizza in the world. But also, they'll make any kind that they don't have for you. We've got it all here at the Buffet Starleauge, if you want to put it that way. It's just it's so good. I'm gonna start a chain of pizza restaurants and call them that, and you're not allowed to sue me, Zero. Anyway, I can't wait. I just want to keep. There's just always got to be more games here, but we're coming down to potentially our final match of the series. I guess it's going to be on in the way of an Eddie.
Yeah, it will be in the way of an Eddie. Let me just give me 1 more second. I will just prepare the map overlay because.
Oh, no problem. I need a little bit of time to prepare here as well because, like, what a crazy series this has been. I love that there's so many people watching this, because especially if you're new to watching Brood War, like, first of all, welcome, and second of all, this is not. So if this is a little bit intimidating to you, don't worry. You're only going to lose a few of your games in 5 minutes. And these are the two of the best players in the entire world outside of Korea playing against each other, and it happens even to them. For eOnzErG, I think that was the perfect time to pull out a super aggressive strategy like that. And really, he caught Bonyth in such a weak spot, and Bonyth still almost held on. It was so close there at the end, but ultimately eOnzErG takes game number 5 and brings us to game 6 and match point.
Yeah, it was like, if Aaron would have these links in the Bonnie base 2 seconds later, the cannon would be ready, and he wouldn't be able to do it. It was like 1 second timing difference. It was so close, and still, but still, Aaron was able to do it, and still he's winning 3-2 against Bonyth. 3 wins in a row. So that should give him a lot of confidence, I think.
Yeah, it absolutely should. I mean, starting 0-2 doesn't really give you a lot of confidence, but then to be able to kind of come back and win the next 3 games in a row, that's crazy. If this were a best of 5, eOnzErG would have reverse swept Bonyth. That's insane. It just does not happen in long series best of 5s, but we're about to watch it happen. And actually, if he could take this 4th game, it's almost a reverse sweep in a best of 7. That's crazy to me. These guys are so good.
But what else would you like to have for you if your biggest like beast to take or opponent is Bonyth, the player you are playing in the finals, and you will win 4 games in a row in this grand finals against him? Even 3 is huge.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, we should point out that these guys are kind of rivals. Bonyth's actually knocked Eon out of a couple of other tournaments early on. So anytime these guys clash, it's always like one of those, Morpheus is fighting Neo kind of moments. And now it's finally here in the BSL finals. I can't wait to get into it in the way of an Eddie.
Yeah, me too. So let's go to the game number 6, right?
Yes, game number 6. Here we go.
In the way of an Eddie. So, spawning on the top left position, 1 game away from being from losing the grand finals, this is Mr. Bony.
That's right, especially put it that way. His opponent in the bottom left-hand corner in the yellow, on match point or about to get there, this is eOnzErG, who has fought all the way back from the brink of down 2 games and has won the next 3. So if he can win this one, he will be our BSL champion. If not, we will go to an ace match. I cannot describe how impossibly epic this is. I want to see what kind of strategy these players are going to pull out, because this is in the way of an Eddie. This map is weak. It's very, very big, and just because there's so many places to hide things, I feel like you got to play a lot safer if you're Bonyth.
Oh yeah, but Bonnie told me that in this map you can build a wall which is tight and is having only 1 gap in every position, so that's why he's starting with 9 gateway, because he knows that if it would be 9 pull speed, for example, from Aeon, he would still be able to defend it, because there will be too many gaps he should defend. And Aeon is going for 11 hatch, so he's not going for 12 hatch but 11 hatch, just to have a little bit quicker spawning pool, and this is perfect response to 1 gateway, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I think both players, I wouldn't be surprised if Bonyth also maybe pulls back and plays a little bit more defensively. I want to see how crazy he's going to go on the Zealots this time, because he hasn't really committed to a lot of gateway aggression off of the gateway expand. So I don't know. We'll have to see. The drone is scouting correctly, which is very important for eOnzErG, because it will allow him to get this information as quickly as possible. and see everything that's happening. He'll be able to see if there's, gas, nexus, cannons, gateways, whatever.
Yeah, and now he will know that he should save some larvas for the links, and yeah, this drone will give him information how many links he should do. I wouldn't be even surprised if he would hold it and see how many zeros is Bonnie doing.
Well, instead he's moving shotting the drone to actually deal a ton of damage. Well, not a ton, but some damage to this Zealot. Make it maybe easier to deal with when it gets across the map. And the spawning pool will be done by the time the Zealot is here, and the Zerglings should be just barely out, so it shouldn't be too difficult to defend against.
Oh yeah, and you're right, this drone dealt some damage to the Zealot and even bought some time for these links to be built. So look at this timing, they are so close, and even this drone timing denying was so important for eOn.
8 lings about to hatch, first 6 out already, but the Zealot and Probe are behind the mineral lines. Actually, no, they're going to come out. This is a weird spot to put your Zealot and Probe in because there's more surface area. The lings are going to eventually pop out here just in time to push this Zealot away. Let's see where Zealot number 2 is, just about to enter the natural right now.
Oh, eOn decided to go for mineral only as a third base, so it might indicate some aggression. I don't know, maybe this is the way you should play in the way of an Eddy. He defended the early Zealot pressure relatively well. I don't think he lost any drone against that.
Yeah, no drones down. He did take a couple down to like 2 HP, but did save those. And now we've got Zergling pressure heading back out across the map, and this could look a lot like game number 5.
Oh yeah, definitely. If eOn would go for a lot of links, it might be working because Bonnie made it very greedy. He made the Nexus, a gas, and the cannon just after the gas. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, he does have another Zealot popping out, so he's going to hold this one pretty easily. And it's a little bit of a different situation with the Wallen and the Zealot's positioning, and there's less lings behind it. So in the end, eOnzErG is not able to deal critical damage in the natural. And we're going to have a game that lasts probably longer than 5 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah, that's a good information. We don't want to see anyone winning in the grand final. 5 minutes? Oh my god. I thought my computer died.
The finals is killing Zero's computer.
Oh, my heart pressure just went so high right now. I thought everything stopped because like, oh, okay. It's fine.
My god.
He's still here.
Yeah. All right. Deep breath. We'll be okay.
It's like 3 bases are okay, so let's see let's look at the game because 4 Zealots are coming and there are only 5 links from eOn.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of lings. He's building 2 more, but even that might not be a ton. Killing the Probe is huge though, because it keeps the Zealots from being able to 2-shot lings quite as easily. He's going to throw down a hatch at the front for a little bit of lack of surface area, and we'll see how he does. There's 4 Zealots running into the mineral line. Obviously, drones can drill on top of the Zealots and be pretty difficult for them to actually do anything. So he's going to save them for safekeeping behind the mineral line and just try to be a little bit annoying.
Yeah, this is what Bonnie is known for his Gosu Zealot micro, and now he's like even forcing a Sunken, and he's not allowing these links to go anywhere else, so eOn is not able to scout what is if there are any Zealots coming towards him. Oh, he's having overload, sorry, I didn't realize because of these colors, but so yeah, he knows what Bonnie is doing.
Doing a good job trying to break the Zealots out of the back of the mineral line. Finally takes them all out. It actually doesn't commit to a Sunken, leaves it as a creep colony. Because I guess he didn't know exactly how many more Zealots were behind that. Sometimes you get 4 more and all of a sudden you're just like, wow, that's too many. But he stays alive, he hangs on. Neither player really having much difficulty here in the early game. We're getting up to macro, we're getting up to 5 hatches, Hydra Den done and on the way, as well as a Corsair popping out to kill this Overlord.
Oh, he will be able to use this creep colony as a spore maybe against the Corsair.
Oh yeah, okay, it's multitasking.
Or he can choose to go for 2 Hydralis kit and Overlords will be safe anyway.
Yeah.
But 3 more gateways from Bonyth, so it's very similar to our first game on Sylphid, I feel like.
Well, yeah, it's similar in that instead of choosing to build scouts, he is building gateway units instead. And if you'll remember, in the games that he did build gateway units instead of scouts, he won those. So all I'm trying to say is that maybe because he's building units that aren't scouts this game, he'll have a better chance at winning. Surprise!
I'm looking at this the same way. I feel like the gateway units, like, even though that Bonyth was good with the Sweeper and the scouts, gateway units are having more potential.
Yeah, but you go for the scout build when you're up 2 games in the series, right? And you're like, oh shucks, that didn't work. And then you don't do it again. And then you don't do it again. And you keep winning games with gateway units. But instead for Bonyth, he was just really trying. And now he's at risk of getting knocked out of the finals after having started with a 2-0 advantage. So I'm glad to see we're heading back to business as usual. Lots of Zealots and Corsairs on the way.
Yeah, and Eon made a lot of links right now. I don't. Maybe he didn't have money to make enough Hydroisk, and he wants to defend against this Zealot with the links. But these are +1 Zealots, so these links are for 2 shots of each Zealot. So it's very interesting for me that Eon invested so much money into these links. But maybe thanks to that, he will be able to clear the Zealot force and go for the boss. Maybe he's going for some kind of timing attack with that.
Well, you gotta protect these Zealots out in the middle of the map. Legs are about to finish for them, so that's gonna be a big deal. The Corsairs might be able to fly around and see that, it's not full saturation on any of Eon's bases, so that all that money has to be going somewhere else. And it's going into Overlord speed, +1 range, Hydras, and Hydra range as well.
Yeah, and a lot of Hydras are already there. It's around 20, I think. So he easily can deal with these Zealots. And Bonyth is just starting to develop Storm. So it's relatively late compared to how many Zerg army is there.
Now there is a DT behind us that's just now about to come in, and there's no Overlords with this army. So the DT is going to kill a bunch of Eon stuff in the middle of the map.
Yeah, you're right. And
there's still no Overlords anywhere with this army.
Yeah, he's just finishing the Overlord speed, but it will be some time until this this Overlord will come here.
Well, the DT can still just kill everything. So the Corsairs are going to try to intercept this Overlord, and I think they'll be able to.
He's not even care about this DT. He just wants to kill Bonyth right now, I think. Oh, this is such a huge aggression. He's sniping the High Templars.
Oh my god, killing that High Templar is huge. There's still 2 more. Storm is just about to finish, so this shouldn't be able to totally bust through everything. Storm is just about done. And the Corsairs are actually getting a bunch of Overlord kills on the other side of the map here too.
Oh, he lost 2 of them, but yeah, he was using he's multitasking very nicely to kill this Overlord, but there are Storms left. And
yeah,
Eon is droning up right now. This is what, like, you don't want to commit to more Hydras, I think. Oh, but no, he's still doing Hydras, so. And look at us.
Okay.
So, pressure, more and more pressure from Eon.
Well, meanwhile, Bonyth is powering up. He is going into full gateway man status. 5 gates on the way, or he's got 3. He's adding on 2 more. Probably see a 6th here in a second. And we are really going to see a return to that game 1 style that Bonyth looks so strong with. I don't know if Eon's going to be able to handle this. He's going for lurkers, but even that won't be a failsafe.
Yeah, but I feel like if Eon will be able to apply this pressure for like 1 or maybe 1.5 minutes longer, he will make a lurker contain for Bonyth, and then the Protoss is having very hard time to move out. When all the because ZZZero is having only one job then, just send every single unit in front of Protoss base and hold this position.
Yeah, well, the problem with that there is that in the way of an Eddie has an island base at the 12 and 6.
Oh, it was because
sorry, this is what the Genesis replay. Anyway, there's an island base at the 12 and 6, so even if you're like lurker contained in the worst case scenario, Bonyth can just drop a probe at the island and get a 3rd base for free, and that's something that's so hard for Protoss against Zergs that are playing this oppressive kind of style.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like Bony is the guy who is the shuttle user. So yeah, I think Eon should expect that that it might be a possibility, and he's still not scouting this island. But very nice macro game out of both players. They are having such a high supply for this moment of the game, despite having so many battles like so far.
Yeah, but still, Bonyth has not been able to break out of his base. So this is still a pretty effective contain. There are going to be lurkers added into this, so that lurker contain is coming through that I mentioned. But we're building up a bunch of storms, and we have Kaidarian Amulet on the way. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 storms, 5 or 6 storms behind this. That should be enough to deal with this lurker Hydra force.
Oh, definitely. And Bony already having an observer and the Dragoons. The range for the Dragoons is ready, but he needs to be careful.
There's one nice storm. Should be seeing a couple of more here. The High Templar are actually a little bit towards the back of this army, so he wants eOnzErG to push it far enough forward so these storms can kill more and more of these Hydralisks. That's the money storm right in the middle. One storm just kind of whiffed there at the end, but lots of Hydras died.
And he's having so many storms because he was collecting energy for so long. He understands that for this kind of fight you would need to have like 10 to 12 storms overall. So, and I think he's still having 5 of them left at least.
Okay, those are some great storms, taking out a couple of lurkers there as well, and he does have that observer, so he'll be able to finish the last few off. Another big storm catches the Hydras as they come up to try to snipe these High Templar. He actually does snipe the observer, which is way more valuable, because now Bonyth won't be able to push through these lurkers.
Oh, very smartly, Eon realized that he will be able to snipe this Archon because there is no observer, so that's a huge catch.
Yeah. Really big pickoffs there. He kills the High Templar as well inside the Archon. And it means that the storms are further and further limited. Finally, the shuttle comes out after dropping a probe off at the island base. So we are going to see that NORAD 2 taken out, and a third base will come up here for Bonyth.
But it will be a bit late because he's mined out in the main base. I mean, it's better late than never, but yeah. Eon is having perfect position. He already took the 4th base, and he's having 2 hatcheries over there, so that's always good macro. 7 hatch macro. Some decent storms here, really helping Bonyth kind of bust out of here as more Hydras get rallied across. And eventually, Bonyth should be able to break this contain, but man, Eon just never stops rallying. We need actually another storm up here. Does he have another storm? He's got an Archon in the back, and there are those storms blanketing the Zerg army, killing off everything. Exactly, he killed every. Like, look at the supplies. Bony is having 40 supply advantage despite losing so many units and be behind.
Yeah, it might look rough here, like he's being contained, but he actually has 40 more supply. So when he pushes out, things like these storms are just gonna mow down Eon's army.
Yeah, and I think Eon should go for the defense mode right now because he's already having the natural of the second respawn, so he can take his part of the map and just produce more units because he knows that Bony economy shouldn't be too good right now. That his only chance will be the final push right now, I think.
Yeah, I think Eon is mustering up his forces for that. Oh my god, this is so many Hydras. And to check the upgrades, these are +2 weapons Hydras. So that is what he's gone for. No carapace here. He's just looking to deal damage. And it's going up against +2 weapons upgrade for Bonyth as well, with +3 on the way. And Eddie's a weird map because if you fight in the wrong spot like Bonyth is doing, he actually has low ground versus high ground. Storms on top will be good, but is it going to be enough? I think Bonyth might have overextended here.
Yeah, he might have been, and this was beautiful flank from Eon, and now Bony is sending more reinforcements, but
oh my god, Eon's gonna actually... Yeah, Eon's gonna destroy his army at the beginning, but the Zealot reinforcements are gonna push these Hydras back.
But in the same time, if Bony will stabilize this like, it's 10 o'clock base and the island base, he will have 4 gases and 2 mineral bases, mining minerals, so there might be still a chance for him, I don't know, but the situation now looks perfectly for Eon.
Yeah, Eon is trying to continue the aggression, but I think maybe it's time to kind of pull back. Both players are in the process of getting up a bunch of bases. There's a 5th coming up for Eon behind this, and 3rd and 4th just now kicking in for Bonyth as well. So I think both players are stabilized, but Eon is not letting up the pressure.
Yeah, both players, like, as you mentioned before, both of them are taking the aggressive upgrades, the weapon upgrades, because they both want to be aggressive, and we are seeing that after their play style. Oh, this is sick lurker block, but...
Oh, the lurker edge morph! Oh, he's so cool. He's going to block a few of the units. It's not perfect, but it does block many of these units from rallying in. The lurkers get the burrow. The storms, though, are really punching through here. I think that's going to allow Bonyth to hang on to this 4th base.
Oh, he's flanking the goons from the behind, and there are no storms left, so all
my God, he has
goons
no
are dying
storms
right now. Oh, where are
Yeah,
they?
he's actually out of storms. Does Bonyth not have anything left? It's even supplies, but a lot of Bonyth's supply is in workers.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I'm searching for the units of Bonyth because he's having 100 supply. And
Where are they?
yeah, where are they? Where are the units? There are 2 zealots on the island, but it's only.
You got to
4
bring those
supplies.
guys back, man. We need man, women, children, dogs, cats, everything fighting for the Protoss army, because losing that 4th base is huge.
Oh yeah, that's huge, and he lost a lot of probes over there also, so it will be even harder to recover after that. And he's mining only from this island, and now finally...
For the first time in this
realized.
game, yeah, Eon has a supply lead, which is huge. You always want to be on top of that as Protoss, and now he actually, let's see, he doesn't even have any storms anymore.
Yeah, he's mining gas only from the... Oh, he's still mining gas from the natural and the main, but it's like 600 and 1000 in both bases.
Look at the APM after that fight. 280, almost 300 from eOnzErG. He is just he's feeling it. He's in the groove. For Bonyth, he doesn't really have that many things to micro. His supply is mostly probes. And he's ferrying more probes over to this island base to keep mining from there safely. But that's not safety, because your opponent is going to store on Zerg the map. Eon's about to double expand again pretty soon, and there's nothing Bonyth can do about it.
Oh, are we having the final bust from Eon? He wants to go for the choke.
There's a lot of High Templar here, a lot of storms. These things are looking pretty good, but there's so many Hydras behind it.
Yeah, these were juicy storms, and he killed so many Hydras, but remaking them for Eon is relatively easy. With having so many hatcheries, he's having 3 in the bottom right, 2 in the natural, and overall he's having 10 hatcheries, so that's a huge amount.
Yeah, some more really big storms to bust out of here. I think this will be a great time for Bonyth. He's going to catch a bunch of lurkers, storming the eggs to kill every single one of those. That's a big win here, but at the same time, there's no 4th base, there's no 5th base, and Bonyth, he's going to have a really hard time taking those.
He's even losing some High Templars. There are no storms, so our Archons are having such a hard time. Yeah, such a hard time against Hydras, and Eon is even sniping their Archons.
Yeah, and Archons are not what you want against Hydras. They take full damage to shields from those ranged attacks, so it's a little bit rough. Bonyth might have stabilized, but look at the mini-map. There's just oceans of Zerg being flooded across, and now Eon's going to drop the 12, and I think that might be the killing blow.
Yeah, but very nice storms out of Bonyth. He's holding as good as he can, but this is just too many units from Mr. Eon. He's constantly attacking Bonyth. He's not giving a break. Oh, and there is a drop in the island, so okay. I think
this is gonna do it.
Yeah.
If he doesn't suspend this, GG, Bonyth taps out, and eOnzErG is your BSL5 Grand Champion. A 4-2 victory over Bonyth in the finals to take home a $400 first place prize.
Congratulations to him, definitely deserve it. And he was playing in BSL3, BSL4, and finally in BSL5 he delivered the win. Huge congratulations to him, and yeah, such a good games in this grand finals. I'm so happy that I was able to cast it. Thank you, Mr. Rapid, also for doing that.
I couldn't have been in a better place. Thank you so much for having me, Zero. This finals was so incredible. You got a chance to watch so many different strategies on a ton of different maps. You really got your money's worth for sure if you guys are watching out there. And a big thanks to everyone who did tune in. We had 600 viewers here at the finals. It's just so much support across the board. Congratulations once again for eOnzErG, who does take first place, for Bonyth, who takes second place. Well, you know how that feels, Zero.
Yeah, and oh, and also we should tell congratulations to TrueTouch and to Koget for third and fourth spot. Yeah, but I don't know how I can describe how happy I am that finally after season 1 and season 2 we are having a ZZZero champion. that's a good.
Well, you tried, Zero. I think what TrueTouch beat you in the finals of season 1 and 2, right?
Oh yeah, like, and even in BSL offline he came and he won with me in the finals. So, yeah, so he was like, whenever TrueTouch is, I know that I'm not gonna win the tournament. Yeah, but that was such a good series, and I'm thinking that if we had like maybe DeWalt versus TrueTouch was also very good best of 5, but this best of 7 and this scout play out of Bon, now I'm sure he's regretting to go for twice scout play, and he was punished for that.
All I'm trying to say is like it's cool, and you saw how cost efficient the strategy really is. Like if he had just a little bit better economy, maybe he could have held on there. It's scary that he did so well with it, but ultimately it was kind of his downfall. If we had standard play there, it's hard to imagine that he would have dropped that many games in a row. Obviously, eOnzErG is an incredible player and is very well deserving of this win, but it was a very strange finals. I kind of like that. Not only do we have a Zerg champion, eOnzErG is the champion, and Bonyth played an insane series, even though he did lose. I think basically it's the best possible outcome ever, and a perfect way to end BSL Season 5.
Yeah, this is a perfect way, and this is it. This is the end of the season. This is the last cast of the season.